Also, I forgot to mention, throwing this probably at the beginning before the rest of it here. Mr. Beast is in this movie. Mr. Beast plays um Panda Pig, and I think he just says skadoosh and that's it. But it's been a talk on the interwebs, so I can't believe I said interwebs. I thought I would just mention it here for you. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another movie review. So if you are listening either over on Discord because you have either bought this or subscribed on the Discord subs over there, or you bought it there, or you are listening over on Spotify. Hello, this is technically the second one over there on Spotify, and the other one's episode number 2. Today we are reviewing Kung Fu Panda 4. So I didn't see this yesterday or today. I saw it 2 days ago, technically, or yesterday morning, I think. Something like that. Somewhere around there. And I thought that I would review this. So the question I'm sure a lot of people have simply put is this movie worth it? And I would say, yeah. I know there was some drama going on about the creator, someone who was involved in the creation of the first couple, um, not being a big fan of this one, saying it goes against everything that they worked toward. Um, I mean, I don't necessarily know if that's the case, but you know, I'm okay with it. So this movie follows Poe, where he is told that he is going to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, taking the spot of what was his name? Fu Panda 1. Uh, what was it called? What was his name called? He wasn't in it a lot. No. Oogway? Oogway. 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 Oogway, yes. I'll keep saying Oogway. Oogway taking his role and becoming the next, basically, kind of spiritual leader, watching over everything until he eventually passes the torch on, or literally and metaphorically passes away. So I will say before going into this, I haven't watched the other three in quite a while. I saw the first one last year, and I haven't seen 2 or 3 in a while. I will say though, they do follow a very average story arc, and in terms of the new movie, it feels like it fits in with that story arc. I don't know much about like 2 and 3, and I don't remember the villains that much, but I will say that the fourth one does take everything and wraps it all together. Now, first, the villain played by Viola Davis, the chameleon. The chameleon can take the shape of whoever the chameleon wants. And what does the chameleon want? Well, the chameleon wants Kung Fu. And as simply put, that is the villain of Kung Fu Panda 4. She wants Kung Fu because people, I don't know if people bullied her. I can't remember what they said, bullied, or just said she couldn't learn it because she was too small. I remember that was a line. So on that front, the villain's reasoning is very lackluster. And I say that in a very simple manner, like these villains don't need to be super complex. But, Tai Lung from the first one, as again I have watched that I believe last year in theaters. Tai Lung was like Tai Lung's job was to, as a villain, was to be Poe's adversary. And be Poe's adversary because he wanted to be the Dragon Warrior. And he felt that he was ready. Um, and it wrapped in better. The chameleon actually literally takes it outside the Valley of Peace, away from everything, to a new area. And I think that's part of this is unfamiliar territory, right? Taking it away from the place that everyone has spent the last three movies and introducing Aquafina's character, which, by the way, I really liked. Zen, I believe is pronounced, played by Aquafina. Not bad at all, in my opinion. I think she did a good job. But the role of that character is one, very predictable, and two, really feels like we've already been there and we've already done that in other franchises. So I get where people are coming from, but I think that this movie is a very logical step. It is not by far not the worst. Um, by far not the worst sequel we've had to a movie, in my personal opinion. Um, it's entertaining, it's funny, and the acting is well done. And obviously, they also had a Dune trailer, which was to so that the trailer would play in front of Dune to take the market off of Dune, which was the only other trailer. They only had two trailers. Um, and the
Look
only
who
whoa, thank you. You guys heard that. They only I guess they had three. So they had two official trailers, right? They had like a teaser trailer, and then they had the official trailer, and then they had two like mini ad trailers. Okay, so it's what it is. There's some cool art stylistic choices to this. Um, and I really like Poe's parents. And it's a different take on a family of two dads, right? So a little bit of backstory, a little bit of spoilers for the previous ones. Poe is adopted. His father is played by no is not Mr. Ping. Um, Lee? No. Lee? No. No. Who is his father? What's its character's name? Is it Mr. Ping? Oh, Ping. Yes, it is Mr. Ping. Mr. Ping, which is played by James Hong. And Mr. Ping is a goose, I believe, who adopted Poe and uh became his father, right? His real father, in I think the third film it was, came back. And is it Lee? Is that when Lee came into play? I think that's when Lee came into play. So Lee is his father, played by Cranston, I believe. And his father came back. So in this one, both of his fathers, because he did have two fathers, except so like his father didn't like obviously didn't leave for a bad reason. He probably was trying to find him, and then when he became the Dragon Warrior, he was able to find him. I believe that's how it went, roughly. That or they made up. Sorry. Every time I mentioned in the last one that every time I record, I yawn, and it's not on purpose. I promise you, it's not on purpose. But they are both trying to go help Poe because they think they've faced too much. You know what I mean? And I like that. It was a cool way of incorporating a family element into the film. And I really like how the storytelling there progressed. They did that is a logical step that would have taken from them both. They're both his father. One his adopted father, and one his blood relative father. And I think that works out very well. It was cool seeing a new city, I'll say that, being out of the Valley of Peace and away from the characters we knew. It was trying to take it to a different direction because obviously they are trying to get the idea across that Poe may not be around forever, that Poe may no longer be a brand new character. And I'm not going to get into spoilers here, obviously, but if they were to go that route, and honestly, I don't know, because there are rumors that 5 and 6 are in the works already, and Poe is not done yet, obviously. So if that is the case, I think we see a lot more going down in the future. Let me look. I do want to know. So yeah, this is the lowest rated IMDb one of the franchise. I think it's also the lowest rated one on Rotten Tomatoes. But and honestly, it's not the top. Like it's not the most top Kung Fu Panda movie. I do feel like again the villain kind of lackluster, and they're of course doing that trope of introducing a new character that could possibly become a new staple for the franchise, right? And on top of that, Aquafina's been a little bit, I wouldn't say controversial. She hasn't really done anything, but she's kind of been all over the place in movies. Like she was in Migration for a bit, not too long, but in there for a bit. Was in The Little Mermaid, was in Renfield, which didn't make a lot of money. Was in The Bad Guys. To be fair, The Bad Guys made quite a bit of money. There's a movie called Discord, the movie. Oh, it's a short. What? Okay, that's weird. But it's let me go about positive. I'm saying too much about the negatives right now. Let me go about positives. So it was really cool to see Tai Lung back. That's one of the big things. And I will say some of his story came back. Very briefly and not entirely. But some of his story came back and it fit in pretty well, I would say. And it's interesting to sit here and look at this and see how he came back in, which felt a little forced. A lot of this movie felt forced, but like not in a bad way. Like I can easily overlook it and just enjoy the movie because in the end, that's what most kids' movies are, right? That's what most of the kung fu movies are. And overall, like it's in general meant to be entertaining for kids. And I personally don't entirely think that the first three movies have super big underlying themes. Like Kung Fu Panda is not like like it's not the bottom of the barrel like strictly kid movies like the Trolls movies are. Those are like heavily like only kid movies, whereas these are like in the middle, like adults watch them because they grew up with them, or adults, enjoy them, but overall the kids movie is a kids movie. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, or it's not like it's How to Train Your Dragon with these super big, deep underlying themes. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just have those in the DreamWorks, franchise. Sometimes you have a really good movie that's just a really good movie, like Megamind. We don't talk about the sequel. I've heard it's really bad. I will watch it eventually. But, overall, this movie is probably going to go across to most people as it was unnecessary, enjoyable, but unnecessary. And I do have a lot of things that I like about it. I do like Viola Davis as the chameleon, and I do like the chameleon because the chameleon's powers are very pronounced and unique and cool. Her end goal, less cool. Um, but yeah. And they come back from the spirit realm, by the way, because it says it in the description. So that's where the previous people come from. And it's interesting because the trailer shows actually quite a lot about the final fight. Because she doesn't take, like, if you've seen the trailer, she doesn't take the kung fu out of Tai Lung until like the end of the film. So there's a lot of films. So it's an interesting choice for the trailer to show a bit of the end of the movie in comparison to the normal trailer, which typically tries to stay away from things at the end of the movie because you want to show the intrigue leading up. But of course, that's a lot of the intrigue there is the chameleon's end goal. But overall, I'd give this probably 3.5 to 4 stars out of 5. Very, very solid movie. And overall, I do enjoy it. It's not like this movie is gonna go down in history as being a terrible, terrible movie. Is it the best Kung Fu Panda movie? No. Is it the best DreamWorks movie? No. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Do I like the actors in it? All of them? Yes. Aquafina? Yes. I mean, overall, I enjoyed this movie. Is it gonna be the best movie of the year? No. I have several movies that I've already liked more, and I have several movies continuing down the line that I will be excited to see in the future. So, but anyways, if you do have any questions, by the way, feel free to leave a comment over there on YouTube, specifically. If you can on Spotify, I guess, and if you're on Discord, you can leave it in the Discord server because you have to be in there anyway to get access to this. But let me know if there's anything you'd like added to these, anything in particular you'd like me to discuss about the movies that I talk about. Obviously, I don't know too much behind the scenes, but overall, I hope I covered all my bases. And I will say we're probably going to get a couple more of these. Part of the reason why I haven't done a lot of these is I really haven't had the time to sit here and release these videos on YouTube specifically when I have a bunch of a bunch of games going on the channel at that particular time. So being able to have another format to release these in is a super unique thing for me to do, and I'm very happy to be able to do that. So yeah. On that note, though, I think that's gonna do it for this movie review. So thank you so much for watching. Over there on Spotify, if you're listening, thank you, and over on Discord as well, thank you so much. So I will see you guys in the next video. And feel free, this movie is now playing in theaters. Go check it out if you would like. Go see Kung Fu Panda 4 in theaters now. Not sponsored, but it is very enjoyable, and I hope I'm going to go see it in 3D before this month is up. Because I did want to see it in 3D, and unfortunately, just due to circumstances and time restraints, I was not able to see it in 3D originally. But hopefully, while it's still playing in theaters in 3D, I can go watch it in 3D because I like 3D. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.